All right, great to see you all. Hold on here. I just have to adjust my volume. I tried to get the Morse code intro as loud as possible, but it's coming from the speakers in the living room there. And I was surprised to find out that when I was talking to Zoe Dufour a little while ago, she just thought I was doing some random Morse code, whatever. But it's actually it's Der Weltkrieg in Morse code. That's what I wanted to pop in. Anyways, great to see you all. Great to see you, William Arends. You were actually, a lot of you guys were crazy early in the sense that you were a week ahead because I didn't do the thing properly. But anyways, great to see you, Harold Bosma. Great to see you, Tolemykus. Great to see you, Chrispy Galactic. Brian R. Smith, Corvinus War Gaming. You've been awesome supplying me with tons of stuff that I get to relay back to everybody else. So thank you so much. And great to see you as well, Meandering Mike. I think we're going to have a half decent amount of material today. Like I said before, I love going through the narrative bit to show you guys what I think I'd like to hit on. So let me go, and please let me know if the volume's too loud, not loud enough, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to present the screen so you guys can see what I would like to talk about, and we'll see how we do. And hold on here. I'm going to pop me there. So as I don't think there's any from 2 weeks ago. There's anything that I screwed up like fact checker stuff. But if there's anything, remember, if you guys pin me on things, that would be great. Yet again, we're going to go through the History Heroes thing. I tried to tie it in, obviously, like I said, where I wanted to do almost like a Romania special or whatever to prepare for the interview with Paul Hederer, the designer for 1916 Prelude to Blitzkrieg. Great to see you, Charles Latora. And so anyways, here we go. We're just going to take a quick look at the leaderboard here. And you can see that Meandering Mike is still ahead, but Brian R. Smith is getting awfully close. And Harold Bosma sent us some pictures, so I'm going to share them with you there of his war table that he's got set up. I thought that was pretty darn nice. I'm really happy about that. And also, these are the things I'm going to hopefully bring up this week, along with the war summary and the week that was, and also obviously talk about Romania. Just a few things. And I hope Hex to Hex is here later, or I'll mention it to him later. But both of us got the image of the month wrong for last month for the World War One Museum and Memorial image of the month. I was surprised. I thought for sure both of us had nailed it. God, they're really good at screwing with us. I can tell you that much. And a couple of late additions in a weird way. Jezza 1 just got a notification this morning. He's doing Der Weltkrieg, the Eastern Front. I was like, wow, he just finished doing a bit of Twilight in the East there, that Michael Resch game or whatever. And I'm like, okay, thank you very much. So it's I'm like, he's just starting it up. He went through an intro of the whatever, but I'd like to certainly mention that. Also, that the Not So Quiet on the Western Front, they're up to 23 episodes now on their Spotify podcast, which I think is just monstrous. And obviously, like I said, talk about Romania. And then William Arends, thank you so much for doing like a Romania focus for the ATA, your Arends Translation Nutrition. Thanks for that. And that's it. So here we go. I'm going to start off. I'm going to stop the screen here for a bit. And then I'm going to start off right on with the first clue. And we'll see how it goes. Also, I will say this, that I'm making some pretty darn good progress. It drove, what drives me nuts is when I think I've come up with a really amazing idea or whatever, and I'm like, I'm going to do World War I bingo and all this stuff, and I went to go and look up blank cards, and trust me, there are 400,000 other people that have done World War I themed bingo. I was like, oh man. But anyways, I'm going with it anyways. I'm going with my way, but I'm making some pretty good progress. So hopefully, I would like to. If anybody wants a bingo card or whatever, we'll send you a digital card and we'll play week to week or something like that. I'll show you that as well. But anyways, let's go with the first clue. At first, this week when I was coming up with the History Heroes, Who or What Am I person or thing, I was like, gosh, this is way too easy. And I did a little twist, and now I'm kind of a little worried I made it too hard. But I was saying to Zoe Dufour yesterday, actually, I think, was that if anything, it hopefully is going to provide a lot. It'll make you guys want to do a lot of send out some guesses or whatever. So here we go. I'm going to put in the first banner. I served in the Austro-Hungarian army from 1914 to 1916, making it to the rank of lieutenant. Who or what am I? Or who am I guess, obviously. Charles Latora says, got a lot done yesterday. Thankfully, I wasn't too concerned to let some things not be completed. Happy to get them moved along. Right on, man. Yeah, I don't know about you. Yeah, that happens to me sometimes too. I almost get like overwhelmed looking at all this stuff, and sometimes it's just like, just focus on one little dinky thing. All right, and I'll put this. I'm going to put the first clue in the chat so you guys can see that as well. Gamers with Coffee, Ashley. Oh, great to see you. You can see who Jeremy the Second's over here, and actually Sigmund. Well, you're going to get a point. Hold on, I got to go and get my pencil. Hold on, guys. I was actually writing a letter, a note to Herma Bosma there, just about to send off his package. I was upstairs, so I think I took the pencil and left it upstairs. All right, Tolemykus, you're going to get a point for that. And I'm just going to say, Gamers with Coffee, Greg and Ashley, is that Jeremy the Second is going to be making a heck of a lot more, making a lot more contributions week to week. It just dawned on me this week. I'm like, wait a minute, this is perfect. And you're going to find out soon enough. So Tolemykus, you get a point. All right. And oh yeah, I didn't put it in the comments. Sorry. And you go, I hope. Yes. All right. Let's see what else. Yeah, let's get into, I gave you that one. Let's go into what I wanted to show you. The first little link. I'm going to pop that in here. Gamers with Coffee actually says, we are glad we could help you out. Oh yeah, man, you are. This is a whole, yeah, you are, man. You are. Thank you. I'm going to share the screen. I'm not going to play it out, but so this, like I said, it's a YouTube video that I found a few weeks ago, and it's about the war aims of the great powers in World War I. It is really darn good. You know, you have to see all the other crazy nonsense. But like I said, I popped it in there. It was a quick 40 minutes, and it was just nice to see. And also, a lot of times, as you know, like if things are going well in the war or not going well in the war, for certain people, their war aims tend to change and so on and so forth. It was neat. It was a lot of secret stuff, as you can imagine. Constantly hearing about that all the time. Okay, let me get you another clue. And there you are. Although I was born in Hungary, my hometown now resides in Romania. Who am I? And I'll put in that other clue as well. Yeah. Okay, so I got that one done. I'm glad I wanted to show you that. Done. And you're in there. All right. What else did I wanted to show? Oh yeah, let's go on to the National World War I Museum and Memorial News. Herma Bosma says Antonescu. No, but you are going to definitely get a point. There's actually somebody when I was looking up on the Romania stuff, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know way more about how like the formation of Romania and so on and so forth. But I guess their main diplomat or whatever during World War I, from what I've been reading, can't remember the guy's name. I think he starts with a B. His surname. He had like a monstrous amount of importance and effect and control of basically of which way Romania was going. And yet again, like I was saying to you, William Arends, I'm really glad that you focused the Romania stuff this week, because I don't know if you guys noticed it earlier in the week. Remember a few weeks ago, Russia and Romania signed some little treaty to allow like free movement of troops and supplies and whatnot. And then all of a sudden they've now broken off that treaty, and they've got some kind of trade relations going on with Germany. They're sending over wheat and and Germany's sending them back some manufactured goods and I think chemical materials to start making munitions and whatnot. So I thought that was, you know what I mean? Like there's this, but yet they're going to end up declaring war against Austria-Hungary and whatnot. It's just like, I'm just like, holy smokes. But so, yeah, I just, thank you, is what I'm saying. It's complicated, isn't it? Did I put that in? Let me put in the third clue. I received the wound medal from my injury sustained on the Russian front. Who am I? Okay, and I'll put that one in as well. Yeah. All right. Hold on here. There we go. You're in. All right. Now, you know what? I want to show that. I want to go. Let's go to the Harold Bosma pictures first. Maybe that will. It's been like a couple of weeks off, so I'm kind of like in a bit of a whatever. I want to snap into it. Nice. Corvinus Wargaming, Rommel. I knew you're wrong, but I'm glad that you guessed that one. I thought for sure somebody was going to snag Rommel, but no. But actually, this is your first point, so I have to pop you on here. Hold on here. All right, so you got 1 point, and I want to go straight. Yeah, let's go straight to the Harold Bosma stuff. Hold on here. Well, I can do it this way. Yeah, it was nice to and Harold Bosma, if you can chime in for any of the comments, like if any of the stuff that you see here, like if I'm like I don't know what the heck this is or whatnot, I'm gonna have to hold on here. I have to change the display bit. I'm gonna present the screen there, and I'm gonna make me disappear. There we go. So there's your, thank you, Harold Bosma, for showing this stuff. I'm going to pop in another banner. So that, can you, like, how big is that table? Corvinus Wargaming says, Rommel was in the Western Front in Italy, not Russia during the war. Well done. Yes, that's exactly it. William Arends says, Bella Kuhn. Oh, I don't know who that person is, but you got me thinking. You're going to get a point. Unless, I hope you're wrong, and I'm not wrong, William Arends, because I can't say anything more. I'm going to give you another clue then. Tolemykus says Goring, good one, but you're wrong as well, or incorrect. I guess I'm saying wrong. It doesn't sound so nice. There we go. Another one. 105 centimeters by 185. Ooh, nice, man. Nice. Okay, I'm going to show you the second picture. Hold on, I want to get in another banner, another clue. I became an actor after the war using the stage name Arends. Who am I? Oh boy, are we getting close to somebody guessing it? I don't know. This will be interesting. We're up to the number 4 here, so we'll see what happens. Okay, there we go. You're in there. All right. Did I put it in there? No, eh? Did it go in? Okay. Yeah, okay, I did it twice. All right. Hold on here. I'm going to get to the pictures. Wow. So how, William Arends, how long did this, oh my God, well done, William. Oh my God, I don't know what to do there. Holy smokes, guys. That was like, that's, both of you guys nailed it. But I mean, technically, Brian R. Smith on my screen. Hold on, I'm just going to temporarily. Okay, well done. Thank you, Meandering Mike, for being a good player. Yeah, wow, guys. I was, like I said, I thought this was going to be split the points. Well done. You guys are awesome. Here, hold on here. Let me. I guess show the remainders I was going to pop in here. In 1928, I toured about California performing in a stage play, and soon after became a famous Hollywood actor. And then I was typecast as a certain character and played him more than 1,000 times in my career. And I can hide that. And then I'm going to put in, hold on here, just for fun. I like this picture of him. I don't know what you guys think. But I just thought rather than, you know, the typical Dracula one and all that crazy nonsense, let's just do something, whatever. Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming you guys probably, I mean, some of you guys probably have clued in why I picked Bela Lugosi due to the fact that, Transylvania, Dracula, the whole 9 yards. I originally was going to pick Vlad the Impaler, and I had a bunch of little, and I was like, this is going to be way too easy. And I was like, oh my God. I thought, wait a minute, isn't Bela Lugosi Romanian? And then I looked it up, and I'm like, shit, he's Hungarian. Then I find out that, but his town ends up becoming part of Romania after World War I, when they end up in an odd way. One of the weird, that I mean, they lose the war, or they, you know, sue for peace or whatever, and ending up being one of the countries with the largest amount of territory gained at the end of World War I. I just think it's like because they picked the right side to win. And I'm not sure yet, but if you guys know about this, from what it sounds like, from what I know about Romania, is that, okay, so they enter the war, they're going to get their asses kicked at the beginning. I think they do half decent a little bit later, but they still, Russia collapses, so can't help them out. William Arends says, Bela Kun was a Hungarian socialist revolutionary. Thank you. And Bela Lugosi was a bit of a socialist as well. I think he ended up actually divorcing his first wife from it or something like this. Charles Latora says 2 for Brian, -1 for Mike. Oh, well done. And so anyways, and then they end up suing for peace, like a separate peace, Romania, later on at 1917 or whatever. But then they end up joining they go back into the war, as far as I know, like late, I guess at the beginning of 1918 or something like that, which I think is, you know, I guess, gosh, it's just, what a weird war this has been. It's just the way people are just like, it's just, it's not, a lot of it doesn't, except for maybe France, for crying out loud, and Belgium, or Serbia, obviously, are fighting for, you know, their own territory or their own lives kind of thing. I just find that really amazing. Corvinus Wargaming says, the story of Harry Hill Bandholz, the U.S. attaché to Budapest after the war, is funny. He stopped Romanians raiding the Hungarian National Museum. Oh my God, you guys are just like flooding my head, man, with stuff. Okay, so let's get back to the Harabosma stuff here for a minute. And I'm going to show you that number 2. I'm going to get back to this. There we go. And I can take a look. I just got to make sure I've got the right there. So this is neat. Yeah, Harabosma. Like, how long did this take to get this table made? He was alone with no weapons. Holy smokes. Corvinus Wargaming says, it must have been, he must have been perspiring quite a bit, eh? And I love that, whatever you've got, that Buddhist thing in the background, that looks amazing, Harabosma. And on a side note, I've got a plant there. I've got that same species of plant upstairs, which I think is totally neat. And there you got your wicked lighting going on. Yeah, I'd like to know how long this 10 weeks waiting patiently. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, wait until, this is the other kicker. When I saw this bit there, that bit, that you can make the table go up and down, Harabosma. I was like, wow, that's impressive. Geez, you lucky devil. That looks real. Oh yeah, I really like this. And then here's the kicker. Look at that. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Holy moly. Nice one, Harabosma. Okay, I'm going to stop the screen. Thank you so much for showing us this. And yeah. Well, as you know, man, once you got a table, like a proper table, like you're like, okay, at least for me anyways, I just love being around it. This is what one of the other reasons why I have this up here is because when I was doing, I watched the war table or the war room interview with Paul Hederer. He mentions, because they're like, hey, you know, do you recommend any good games? And Corvinus Wargaming, it is. I can't. Hopefully later on, Harabosma, you're going to show us some pictures of an actual, like, you know what I mean? Maybe you were saying you were thinking about playing Knock Paris or darn it, I can't remember the other game you were thinking about playing. But anyways, Paul Hederer mentions anything by Michael Resch, and never clued into me. And then there was also reading. Oh, I'm just going to say this. I think I'm ready, guys, for the interview. And so I think now what we're going to do is I'm going to contact Paul Hederer and find out, and he seems, I would assume, is going to be able to, yes, Charles Latora says, outstanding table, happy gaming. Yeah, we're like you now, Charles Latora. We've got like a, we've got a table to fiddle around with. Is that, so he seemed, I am assuming he's going to be open to actually showing up on the live stream and having an interview, because that's what he did with the war room. So I'm hoping that'll be the case as well. So I'm just going to contact him and see if there's a Saturday that he's available. I hope he is for that time. He lives in Switzerland, so hopefully that'll be like noon will be a half decent time for him. Yeah, all I can say is reading his stuff on the BGG forum. We're going to go to it a little bit. Yeah, it's 20 minutes in. Okay, I'm going to just do the best I can. I'm trying to, like I said, get back into the swing of things here, but yeah, I'm just going to have to just go with it. We'll see how it goes here, because I do want to show you some stuff about. So let's go to it, and we'll get to the other bits later. We are, trust me, we're going to get into the week that was and William Arends' attrition in the war summary. I'll make sure of that. But I wanted to, not necessarily, here, we're going to go to present the screen. It's just, maybe it'll pop in a couple of my things into my head here when we go to the forums. Actually, no, I've got one specific one written down here, or popped it in specifically. Hold on here. Where are you? Ah, this is it. This is the one. And it just made me realize this person, I remember he was saying that, oh, it's a labor of love and whatnot. Okay. You're in here. You're on this one. Okay, you can see it. Is when we get to here, it's like, so he's talking about, that, I don't know. Sorry, guys. You probably can't see it very big. I'll bump it up. Hopefully that's a bit better. We played the Bulgaria attack scenario for the play test, which covers the southern front of the campaign. This was Mario's first time playing any of the games in the series, either full 1914 series or the simpler Galicia 1914. So there you go again. He's talking about the Mike Rush stuff. Yet again, they talk about the supply system. There's something about over and over again when I'm reading his posts, how much, I mean, the guy's been working on this for 10 years, for Christ's sakes. Also, I think you're going to love this, Meandering Mike, because I don't know how much you've been looking at his posts or whatever. The guy Paul Hederer does not shut up about playtesting. He constantly is just mentioning, oh, no, the game's not ready or whatever. No, I've got to do more playtesters, get more playtesting in. And this is years ago. He's talking, saying, oh, I've got all the whatever, and he just keeps on going. It's just, yeah, I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun talking and exploring this game with him, as far as I'm concerned. So I think I'm ready. Like I said, I'm going to go and contact Paul Hederer and see if we can fix the date for us, and then we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be not too bad. So we've got that bit. I do want to, let's do that as well. William Arends says, I've ordered and received the game Verdun 1916 from Combat Simulation Limited. Oh, you did. Right on, man. And please let me, I don't know if you noticed, William Arends, that, but CSL now is actually going to be, they'll be having their games distributed through Board Game Bliss, which is in Ontario, so that's not too bad. Okay, so hold on here. I want to go to, let's take a look at some pictures and get into the Romania bit. Then we can get into the week that was, because we're about 25 minutes in here, and I want to make sure that we see some of the good stuff here. I do this though. I'm going to pop this in quickly here. There. Okay, I'll put me sideways. So this, I mean, well, we're going to see it in a bit, is that, and we've noticed this for the past couple of weeks or whatever, is that they keep talking, I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but about the Sussex and, what are the Americans' response to the Sussex and so on and so forth. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go and look this ship up and find out what. So this was a French passenger ship that got torpedoed by most likely a German sub. Well, the verdict's still out right now, kind of thing, if you want to put it that way. And although no Americans died on this ship, some were injured. And anyways, there's a big ramping up of like, come on. We're going to find out in a little while, because I kind of jumped the queue a bit in time-wise as I was reading up on the Sussex. The Germans are going to release something called the Sussex Pledge or the Sussex Promise or something like this. And it's about basically saying, okay, we'll give non-military vessels the heads up before we nail them or something like that. But I wanted to show you this picture of the ship because I was like, you got to be joking. So they said, here's the front of the ship that got hit in the channel, and it made it under its own power to Boulogne, France. I was like, you've got to be joking. Like, that's him. I was like, wow, I couldn't, how the hell that happened, I don't know. But there we go. So let's go and take a look at some pictures of Romania and stuff like this. Yes, I scanned my book. And this is not for profit here, for Christ's sake, so let's have some fun. Like I said, I'm not a historian, so I'm not going to go into a big, long, whatever. Brian R. Smith says, bought the Weltkrieg Eastern and Western fronts from decision. 20% sale, sadly eaten up by postage, I know. Exchange rate and custom fees, not for the faint of heart. Brian R. Smith, yep. When I realized I was going to go full on in with Der Weltkrieg, oh, darn it, I can't remember how. Anyways, I picked up some at decision, and then the remainder I picked up. But due to the fact of the way I had to get it, I picked some up. Meandering Mike knows the person. He's on the East Coast, does a lot of sales through BGG. I paid, several $100s to get the set brought to me. And I was just like, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Is this worth it? Yep. Every penny. And I would pay 10 times the amount I did easily. Anyways, let's read a little bit off the side. I wanted you guys basically just to get some context. And also yet later on, I don't know about you guys, when I started hearing about Romania constantly wanting to go after Transylvania and so on, that area. And I was like, well, you can see here, I don't know, this is my little mouse area here. But I think this is where we're going to find out where Transylvania is here. Tolemykus says sold. And right there, you can see, it just, I don't know about you guys, but Romania, it just looks like an odd shape. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you can see why. And then we're going to see some other bits here where, I can see why Romania, because it's the ethnic bits, right, as you can imagine here. So here it says German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck. I'm going to read the whole bloody thing, but just this little bit here. But I want you guys to see. Once said that some damn foolish thing in the Balkans would one day cause a major war. From 1878 to 1913, the region was racked by war and conflict as the Ottoman Empire's European presence declined. Shifting combinations of small and large powers then vied to fill in the power vacuums in a region already beset by ethnic and religious tensions. Yeah, and it's nice now I can see where Bessarabia is, and Tolemykus is a lot of natural boundaries. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that as well. Maybe if I find another map and I can zip up here, if it's a bit more. I just thought maybe that just seems a bit weird, like an odd shape. So that's why I was thinking maybe it's more of a political thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I just here we go. I wanted you guys to see more of the area here. And of course, as they talked about the Balkan Wars and I'm not sure if it was the Italo-Ottoman War in North Africa that caused, I'm not sure if that was what caused a lot of these guys to form the Balkan League and say, hey, man, it looks like the Ottomans are not so strong. So they took a chance and, took a ton of territory from in the first Balkan Wars, from what I know. And then I think it's Bulgaria that kind of was a little tipped or something like that and tried to do a preemptive strike. And they caused the second Balkan War. And as far as I know, that was not a smart move by their thing. But like I said, you guys probably know way more than I do. Here is Bulgaria, just because it's going to be playing an important part. especially when Romania doesn't clue in, and they should have not have gotten into the war from what I've seen. Anyways, Bulgaria emerged as a great victor of the First Balkan War, but its success led its erstwhile allies to fight against it in the Second. All right, and let's see, scroll down a little bit. Corvinus Wargaming, Transylvania's eastern border followed the Carpathian Mountains. Thank you, and hopefully we'll take a, I don't know if we'll see any of that, but so there we go. I wanted you guys to see a bit more of the area that's been causing so much grief. Ah, this is the biggie. I thought this was a real nice one. So no part of Europe contained as many mutually antagonistic ethnic groups as the Balkans, often called the powder keg of Europe. The Balkans contained large numbers of Orthodox Christians, Catholics, Muslims, and Jews. And you can see here when we get down to the, well, you can see, I don't even need to show you what the color codes are or like which ones represent each other. But this, as far as I know, this is where Transylvania is, correct, people? And you can see why, I mean, there's an awful lot of ethnic groups from Romania over in there. And a little bit in Bessarabia and so on and so forth. But it's just really neat to, I find, to see what's going on. This knocked me for 3 bells. I had no idea there was this much Greek Greek people up in that area. I had no clue. And then we got this one, the Roman invasion of Transylvania. So that's going to be coming up, as you can see, late August, September. Afraid that Bruce Silov's success might mean they would lose their chance to seize Transylvania, the Romanians entered the war. They invaded Austria-Hungary, hoping to keep the Russians from capturing Transylvania. All right. And then the invasion of Romania, this is the oops. And within just a few weeks of entering the war, they hoped they could keep contained to Austria-Hungary alone. The under-equipped and inexperienced Romanian army faced the full fury of a Central Powers offensive. Romanian forces found themselves terribly outmatched in every way. The ruthless German general Erich von Falkenhayn, who gets fired from the Verdun thing, and then he gets sent over here, who had just been relieved of command at the murderous Battle of Verdun, took command of the Central Powers forces. Falkenhayn designed a campaign of annihilation for the Romanians, both to avenge their betrayal to the Kaiser and to send a warning to remaining neutral states that might want to join the Allies. And you know who joins them later on? Meandering Mike says, World War I, the war of the best laid plans. Oh, I know. This one was not one. That's for bloody sure. Holy cow. Yeah, let's put all our forces up front and not have anybody defending of the other borders. Ouch. And then let's go into the beauty, eh? Look at this sweetheart of a, I mean, as we know, is Paul Hederer's magnificent map. I'm going to put it in so we can see it to the window. And look at that, guys. And now we can see how good of a job Paul Hederer has done. I mean, my goodness, that is just spectacular. All right, so you know what? We're going to stop the screen again. I'm going to get rid of this image. I don't think there's any more images to show, except the war summary stuff. But we're going to go to the ATA and the week. That's what I think is more important. So let me go. I'm going to pop this away, pop this away. Do I have the week out? Nope. But I could have the week out. There we go. Okay. Oh, goody. And I just found a spelling mistake. I get fixed right away before you guys saw. Yeah, Harold Bosma, it is. I am really looking forward. And you say you've got Not Paris. I know that a few others do. And, oh, gosh, that's why it's been a joy reading his stuff. I thought at first, Harold Bosma says, hope it hits my table. Yes, and I hope you take pictures so we can see it hitting your table. At first I was like, oh, it's going to be a bit of a slog or like homework going through, all the posts on BGG on the forum. First of all, there's only like 25 whatevers, and a bunch of them got deleted. But it's an absolute joy to read and see the interaction with the other posters with a game designer that, as he said himself, it's a labor of love, and you can tell, for crying out loud. Like the guy says, I've always wanted to play. He said, I wanted to always play a Romanian part of the Romanian game in World War I ever since I was a little kid when I played something in the East. I thought maybe an SPI game or whatever. But anyways, let me present the screen. because I think we're going to get into we're now getting into the stuff, which is what I'm really happy about. All right, so here we go. I'll read this off, and then we're going to go to the ATA, and then we'll go to the war summary. And yeah, it's about 25 minutes in. If we've got any time left over, we'll go into the other stuff. I think that's the better way to go. And if you don't, let me know. April 14th, the end of the first Battle of Lake Narak. And this is where the Russians get walloped after all that time of fighting like heck before the thaw kick comes in, and the Germans are just walloping them right now. I looked to see if there was any games for that seemed to have the Battle of Lake Narak. I've not found any. And I was thinking, wait a minute. I wonder, because I was also with the interview there with Paul Hederer on the War Room. They were saying, "Oh, is there any other scenarios or any other? Do you think your game system could probably work with?" And he was like, "Oh my God, just don't ask me for another Tannenberg. Like, don't need another Tannenberg." So it's like World War I version of the Bulge or whatever. I was thinking, maybe this one would be interesting. Anyways, British Cabinet Council on the Military Service Act. U.S. Cabinet approves President's not to Germany. Oh, so it should be notes. I didn't find another one. Hold on here. Oh, maybe that's like a Freudian slip. A note to Germany on submarine campaign. British occupies Salanga, East German Africa. Naval airplanes raid Constantinople. General Gorge drives back the Ottomans on the right bank of the Tigris. Oh, there's a lot of stuff with, well, like I said, I hope to God we get to the war summary. British advance on the Tigris. Russian success near Bitlis. British occupy Cargo Oasis, 120 miles, which is about 10 Weltkrieg hexes, I do believe. I misspelled that. Southwest of Auschwitz. Successful French attacks south of Douaumont. Russians take 2 lines of trenches near Lake Narak. Interesting, eh? April 16th, German bombardment of Avancourt Wood and Hill 304. Russians, after 9 days fighting, take a position on the left bank of Karader. I think that's in Armenia. April 17th, Russians occupy Surmena and reach Asen Kalase, Armenia. British take Bayat Asi, jeepers people, Mesopotamia. Germans enforce on Kondoa Orangi, German East Africa. British committee appointed to investigate recruiting. And I think this is due to the fact they're really trying to ramp up the conscription and stuff like that. Italy prohibits trading with Germany. Wow. Italians blow up Col di Lana and take west part of Monte Ancona in the Dolomites. The Germans are repulsed at Douaumont, but gain footing in Bois de Chadefort salient. Just looking to see if anybody's saying anything. April 18th, deportation of civilians denounced at Lille and elsewhere. Whoa. I'd like to know what the hell's going on there. Ottoman counterattack forces back British 500 yards at Sana'iyat. Russians take Trebizond, so it finally happens. Russians progress west of Erzurum. The U.S. note to Germany on the Sussex case and on submarine policy in general is dispatched. Lord Milner advocates universal military service in the House of Lords. April 19th, the British cabinet crisis on manpower question is reported. South African forces take Kondoa Orangi, German East Africa. This knocked me on. I was like, whoa. Field Marshal von der Goltz Pasha assassinated by Albanian officer in Asia Minor. Wow. Germans fail in 3 attacks at Les Eparges. Germans capture 2 craters at Saint-Leroy and positions north of Langemarck-Ypres. Charles Latora, the only way I can get a bigger table in my room, I would have to get rid of the entertainment center and either build one about 7 to 5 feet. Me build, not happening. I'd rather just cross my fingers. Oh my gosh. No, man, I love your game. Your game den is amazing, man. April 20th, French regain ground near Mortome and south of Douaumont. Russian troops arrive at Marseille. Isn't that cool? I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but there's a Nebula podcast. I think it was about a year ago. I think we were talking about it, where that there was Russian troops. It was part of this give and take bit. I don't know if you remember, but it was kind of like the Russians were asking for supplies and so on and so forth. And the French said, sure, but we're not giving it to you free. So you send over some troops our way, and we can use them to bump up some stuff. And the Russian generals at the time, as far as I remember, were like, are you out of your effing tree? This is ridiculous. We've got enough things to worry about as it is. But they did it anyways, because you got politics, trumping military thought, as far as I'm concerned. Russians take Ottoman positions in Bitlis region. Disguised German warship odds sunk while trying to land arms on the Irish coast. And remember what's happening there with the Easter Rising. Oh my God. It was on Clark Commando's thing there where he does "You Are the War Gamer" or whatever, or "You Are the star of my show" or whatever. And he had a guy on, and he just super quickly gave me some information on the Easter Rising. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like he was like, oh, everybody, like when the people did the Easter Rising and took over like buildings and this whole block or whatever, I guess in Dublin, they knew full well that they were not going to win. They were just trying to do a statement, all this stuff. I was like, wow. And then, I was just amazed, just absolutely amazed. A new volunteer, and I was super grateful. New volunteer regulations issued in Great Britain, manpower proposals to be submitted to secret session of both British houses, and Sir Roger Casement lands in Ireland and is arrested. I do not know who that person is. And now we're going to go to the ATA. Yep, we might as well say that, puppy. And thank you again, William Arends. Off we here, and here we go. 3 million tons of English shipping losses. The Kaiser attends a church divine service dedicated to war. Oh, the beautiful irony, eh? But I mean, let's be honest, religion is probably one of the biggest proponents for war, isn't it? Harold Bosma says, yeah, don't take the risk, Charles, but I found suppliers where you could customize. Yes, I've heard of this. These nice, beautiful, customizable tables. Anyways, here we go. The great headquarters, April 13th. Our Majesty attended a church service dedicated to the war effort today, held by the Archbishop of Cologne, the Cardinal von Hartmann. And I did find out a bit. I'm still trying to hammer this down, and please help me out, Harold Bosma, and I guess Charles Latora, William Arends, as well, about the Von bit. I think, as far as I know, if it's part of their title, I should be using it. So, like, for example, I should be calling Hindenburg von Hindenburg, and shouldn't just be taking it out, as far as I know. But maybe I'm wrong. 950 British ships with 3 million tons destroyed on London, April 13th. An editorial. Remember, this is from Germany here, which is, I just love this stuff. An editorial in the Daily Mail has stated that the Member of Parliament from Liverpool reported the shipping losses that have occurred through mines, torpedoes, and from being commandeered are a serious problem to which the threat of Zeppelin attacks has now been added. The inflation in the price of foodstuffs has been raised to a point at which the British people can almost not afford them. From the 1st of April, 72 ships have been lost. And I mean, we're only 20 days in, man. And so that's, how many per day is that, eh? And since the beginning of the war, new totals, 950 British ocean-going steamers carrying 3 million tons of goods are sunk. Manny Mike says, Hindenburg, he who, oh you, well done. I like you. England closes Romania down. The independence of Romania is reported to have been damaged through its negotiations. Thank you, William Arends. With England in the matter of the purchase of copper sulfates and leather. And remember, that was we saw it earlier on in the headlines this week. These principal trading items were to be disallowed from being purchased by the 4 Allied Central Powered States. And remember, England just brought in a new contraband list. It's practically all dangerous goods are like off the things. Oh yeah, I wonder if that's also about the straw thing. Anyways, that's on a side note. In the example of Russia, the disloyal Romanians, who such a punishing withdrawal of their export items is now just following England's lead, yielding to the threatening language of the British overseers of the world trade traffic. And this is only betrays how much Romania is being forced to go against the grain of its own interests. This will lead not only to a dangerous breakdown in the economic war, but will have consequences after the end of this war as well. The example of Romania's treatment of these associated colleagues, the Central Powers, this stain of indignation caused by the Paris economic program will endanger its Romanian desired future, trading in macaroni and plaster figurines with German lands. Good Lord. They're certainly not as ridiculous as, hold on, I'm going to get rid of, stop the screen here. And then I can start, we're going to get into the, oh my gosh, you're darn right we're going to get into the war summary. Holy smokes. And I'm starting to use, I'm getting a bit smarter now in that I'm using red dots instead of the black dots. So hopefully that'll help. Please let me know if you find it too small. I'll try to do what I can. Right. And there we go. Meandering Mike's just a lucrative trade in macaroni. I know. I was like, at first I was thinking, did William Arends translate this oddly, or what the hell's going on here? But I'm like, you got to go with it, man. Tolemykus is that's made out of plaster. Good Lord. Well done, man. You guys are awesome. Okay, hold on. I got to get rid of this stupid little ridiculous thing that's telling me stuff. Okay, there were no infantry actions in the front of Verdun yesterday on either side of the Meuse. The midnight French report says that there was a continuous bombardment by the Germans of Hill 304 and at that part of the front between Deadman's Hill and the Comière, but that on the east side of the river there was only medium artillery activity. The French War Office does not often officially contradict German claims in this matter of killed, wounded, or prisoners, but occasionally a few illuminating words are sent out. Plasteroni, god damn, you're good, Tolemykus. You guys are just, yeah, thank you, man. I just love that, yeah. Anyways, I got to stop. Zoe Dufour would be smacking me upside the head right now, going, just stop. The British Foreign Office has issued a statement that displays Sir Edmund Grey in the role of a somewhat sardonic humorist. Germany has been trying to prove that the Sussex was not torpedoed by a German submarine because the commander of the undersea boat, Harold Bosma Von in German indicates a noble, thank you. And yes, and I'm going to start using it, I think. Anyways, I'm not going to read this rest of the bit. They're just basically saying that the submarine captain sketched a thing saying, look, the sketch that I did of the ship that was that I nailed doesn't look like the Sussex kind of thing. But they were like, yeah, he's basing a picture on a freaking newspaper picture kind of thing. William Arends says that must have been an effort at German humor. Yeah, that's why I was thinking as well. I'm like, they're not maybe as good as the English, but here we go with the nice little red dots. A French official report puts the responsibility for the murder of the passengers of the Sussex where it belongs. It says we could publish the name of the commander and the number of the submarine which attacked the Sussex. Our boss says, Von Anglia, goodness gracious me. Thanks, man. This submarine was destroyed on April 5th, and her officers and crew, it's more or less at the last bit, that's why I have the red dot here. If President Wilson fails to act in the Sussex case, he never will act in any case at all. The evidence is conclusive. And that kind of bodes with what Colonel Roosevelt's been saying as well, going, hey, man, aren't we supposed to be doing something here? Tolemykus says, makes it even funnier when last is something like Von Mud. And now I'm out. I can't. The Germans are busy testing, as in I can't get all the humor or whatever. The Germans are busy testing the British line in northern France. General Haig reports 4 enemy attacks. Remember I was mentioning earlier, and it's because of the trench warfare book, that when Haig took over from French last year, there was a huge focus or shift towards trench raiding. And oh my gosh, I mean, it's every freaking week we just keep hearing about trench raiding, and Haig is there, man. In the La Boisselle action, tear-producing shells were used by the foe. All the attacks were repulsed, but the British commander admits that some of his men were captured. The Turks are apt pupils of their German teachers in the matter of exaggeration. General Sir Percy Lake states that the number of British casualties in the engagement, and this is for trying to relieve Kut, on Sunday on the Tigris was much below the figures of 3,000. Yeah. I do find it is ironic. I don't know about you guys, but that Sir Percy Lake, General Lake, there is the guy trying to help them out, and they're just constantly dealing with flooding on the Tigris. I'm getting a good laugh about that right now. Dispatches from both Bucharest and Athens indicate that the people of Romania and Greece are far from satisfied with the attitude of their rulers in the in relation to the war. The influence of Venizelos in Greece is again rapidly increasing, and the French assertion that the government has been intriguing with the Bulgars is likely to make the administration very unpopular. Well, so is also having foreign troops take over Salonika and your rail systems, for Christ's sakes. Geez, sorry. The lull in front of Verdun continues so far as infantry attacks are concerned, but the artillery on both sides belches forth many hundreds of tons. It just blows me away, and it's true, it's literal. Many hundreds of tons of metal and high explosives daily. I want to put this in this little bit here. In addition, yesterday afternoon, the second line of the French defense west of the Meuse was bombarded. This was undoubtedly intended to prevent General Pétain from accumulating and holding large reserves in the positions of the second line. That another dash for Dead Man's Hill and Hill 304 is contemplated appears certain from the trend of the artillery actions. And let's get back to the end of the red thing because we got down to 10 minutes. Yeah, the Crown Prince is drawn not only upon other parts of the line in France, but upon the German troops in Russia for further victims. Not that further victims bit, but it was just that they are bringing troops in. They had to grab troops from other things. It is causing them. They are being. They're in the war of attrition as well in Verdun. From Mesopotamia, General Lake reports some progress in his advance to the relief of Townsend's force hemmed in at Kut Alamara. Okay. For 4 months, and this is yet again, here we go. I love this bit. Tolemykus says Mick Vaughn. Okay. Van Vaughn. Oh my God, you guys are killing me, man. And I'm having a hard time pronouncing things to begin with. I don't need you guys. I'm going to leave you guys alone to have your own little fun. For 4 months, Townsend's army, which fell back after the Battle of Ctesiphon, has been holding the enemy at bay. When last heard from Townsend, reported that he had ample supplies, but as he counted upon being relieved much sooner, it is possible provisions in the garrison may be running low. The relieving force is largely made up of Indian troops. Lake's chief difficulty, apparently, is in safeguarding his line of communication with his base owing to the incursions by Arab tribesmen who have been lured into the Turkish service. I don't know about you guys, this, and Harald Bosman is going mental, is that this just screams out for tactical type game for me. I'm like, this, or like even an event card where you flip out the Arab tribesmen causing you some grief. Berlin admits that the Franco-British army in the Balkans is again on the move. East of the Vardar River on the Macedonian frontier, the Allies are said to have displayed considerable activity. British and French troops have been at Salonika since October. Goodness gracious. And the work of fortifying the city has been in progress since the evacuation of Serbia and Macedonia. The works are now regarded as impregnable, and after a winter with the spade, the concrete mixer, and the stone crusher, the British and French troops will be eager for active service, and advance up the Vardar or east into Bulgaria is expected soon. London is beginning to grumble regarding the brevity and lack of detail in the reports from British headquarters in France about the casualties. They're just very like, yep, he died. Just little, not very much info. Along the Eastern Front, there is considerable activity. Artillery duels are increasing in intensity, but all attempts on the part of the enemy to resume the offensive with infantry have been repulsed with serious German losses, according to the official Russian dispatch. On the Dniester, opposite Colton, an enemy airplane succeeded, and this is why I popped it in. I was like, holy shit, can you imagine what this would have done? Where the Tsar was reviewing troops, but the only casualty reported by the bomb throwers was the wounding of a sentinel who was promptly decorated by the Tsar. Wow, I wonder what it would have happened if he had been killed. Fighting continues in Galicia, southeast of Bustash or something. The Russians repulsed the German attack. We're getting not too bad. News from all the battlefronts this morning is encouraging. That which most deeply interests the people of Great Britain and the overseas dominions concerns the campaign in Mesopotamia. Hold on here. A very remarkable achievement is announced by the British Admiralty. 3 naval airplanes attached to the British fleet in the Aegean on Friday night bombarded the chief Turkish powder factory and the airplane hangars at Constantinople. Another machine flew north and bombarded the railway station at Adrianople. All 4 returned safely. The flight to Constantinople and back measured 300 miles in the return journey. Tolemykus says, in pre-Soviet Russia, we bring to the front canned goods left off from Napoleon's army. Oh, Jesus. The Russian campaign in Asia Minor, which is closely connected strategically, that's still, I'm having a hard time, but then I look at the map and I'm like, okay, they're actually not that far off. I'm going to remember weeks ago when they were talking about, oh, the Russians are doing pretty darn good. Maybe they can help out with the British in Mesopotamia. I was like, what? But now I can see why. In Asia Minor, which is closely connected strategically with that of the British Army in the Tigris Valley, progresses most favorably. The smashing of the Turkish offensive in the region to the west of Erzurum has removed the one great danger that confronted the Russian army in Armenia. There was sharp fighting on the Verdun front on Saturday afternoon. The French official report states that a spirited attack was made on the German positions south of Douaumont. There has been much artillery action on both sides of the Meuse during the past 24 hours. Hill 304 especially has been the object of attack by the German guns, but no infantry assault has taken place on Saturday afternoon. From British headquarters comes a statement that on Saturday night, after the explosion of 2 mines, the British troops carried out a small Douglas Haig raid against the enemy trenches south of the Bethune-la-Bassée road with satisfactory results. The engagement at the Saint-Eloi seems to have come to an end. Corvinus War Gaming says the Caucasus and Mesopotamia are the 2 gateways to Anatolia from the east. Yeah, that's why I think you weren't here last week, I don't think, or 2 weeks ago. But one thing I want to start doing, I was mentioning it, especially with the week is try to have a split screen so we can have a map and start getting a bit more of this stuff in there. I really want to do that. Corvinus Wargaming says, for Mesopotamia, an army would have to pass through the Tarsus Mountains. Yep, nightmarish. The correspondent states that the Russian army is incomparably better supplied with the necessaries of warfare than it was at this time of year, which I find interesting, like I said, because they were saying, hey, can we get some supplies from France? And that's why they sent over some troops. I also read earlier on in the week from one of the headlines that they were saying that the British should, I didn't post it with you guys, but it was about, it was an article about how the British should be trying to, once they get ramp up their munitions production, they should start sending some, trying to help out the Russians as well. I was like, what's going on? Why is that? Especially when the Russians have been ramping, like I said, their production has gone like orders of magnitude. It's like, I'm talking like 2,000% type of the thing from what I remember. It's crazy. An amazing example of treachery is recorded in the foregoing official report. It's about Austrian troops saying we surrender, and they show up and they nail you with a bunch of daggers. The attitude of Romania towards the Allies becomes more doubtful. This is just juicy. She has already arranged, and you can, from what I've been reading, the Allies right now are freaking out and are basically promising the moon to Romania if they don't join up with Germany and whatnot. So there must be a ton of background stuff going on right now, man. To be a diplomat at this time must be just awesome. She has already arranged to provide for Germany's wheat shortage so far as she can do so. Now she's going to float an internal loan and call to the colors her 19-year-old lads. It begins to look as if the Romanians may yet enter the war on the side of the Central Powers instead of the Allies. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys. We're only halfway through. If a secret pact exists between Romania and Germany, it will make a very serious difference in the Eastern situation. Let's maybe just straight to the thing. We'll go straight to the things here. Well, and I'm just bringing this up, the red dot here, because yet again, we've talked about it before. Meandering Mike's brought it out here. Tolemykus is diplomat is code for espionage. Oh yeah. More than 2 divisions comprising perhaps 25,000 to 28,000 men. It's because Meandering Mike's been helping me out as well before, always trying to figure out what the hell, because divisions are so different between nation and nations. For like even in Bulgaria, I think their divisions are essentially a corps in other people's worlds and that type of stuff. The long list of Canadian casualties, yep, they're getting nailed. Russian advance towards Trebizond prospers. We knew that because they take it. A large part of this road can effectively be shelled from the Black Sea, and the Russians control the sea. Turkey's forces in Trebizond are in an awkward corner. Yeah, I was amazed to find out how much naval bombardment has been going on with the Russians in here. I thought that was really neat. The anticipated drive of von Hindenburg along the Vienna front, following upon the subsidence of the floods, is about to begin. Unless the garrison were near the, and this is about the Kut thing, unless the garrison was near the end of their resources, Sir Percy Lake would not press forward through a flooded country under circumstances that might prove disastrous should his army meet with a decided check. Yet again, if I wanted to war game this or put it into this just seems just so mouth-watering, man. Like, oh my God, just try to, you gotta go, or you're gonna lose the game, kind of thing. The British bayonet, is that what I wanted? Which leads to the belief that starvation will conquer. It's about because the failure of the Turks to rush General Townshend's earthworks proves that they have learned to respect the British bayonet, and also that their spies, Tolemykus, have conveyed information which leads to the belief that starvation will conquer Kut el Amara more surely than a series of assaults. There's to be no Italian expedition to the Balkans. That is disclosed by the report that Greece and the Allied powers are at loggerheads over the question of transportation of 150,000 Serbian troops from Corfu to the Salonika front. Yeah, this was amazing to read up on. Darn it, we've run out of whatever. But it's darn good. Maybe I'll just post these up for you guys later on. There we go. Capture Trebizond. I'm going to try to. Kut was a great win for the audience. You're darn right it was. Darn right. The effect of the victory at Trebizond will be felt all over the Near East. It's got a few more left, and I'll try to get the check suffered by Sir Percy's Lake Army in the south bank of the Tigris loses its importance if Trebizond is taken, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Well, it's not going to happen. There's a lot of bad weather going on in the Western Front, which I thought was kind of neat. Meandering Mike says, continue as long as you like. I don't have anywhere to go for the next 4 hours. And then, the war room, man. Okay, here we go. The German War Office, referring to the capture of 1,691 French prisoners in the positions taken on Monday near Douaumont, says that the names of these prisoners will be published in the Gazette d'Ardennes, as will the names of 711 officers and 38,155 other prisoners taken by the German armies in front of Verdun since the battle began on the 21st of February. And it's not going to end until the fall. The Italian offensive in the Trentino continues. An Austrian official report admits that the crest of Coldiana was carried by the Italians, which we found out new in the week, after terrific artillery bombardment. There have been several spectacular air raids on this front, including flights over Trieste by 4 Allied airplanes and an Austrian raid upon Venice. Wow. 2 small attempts were made by the Germans during Monday night to penetrate the British lines at Saint-Éloi. The ultimatum presented to the German government by President Wilson does not necessarily mean war, even though diplomatic relations should be severed. Should. I found that really interesting. If, however, Germany continues to sink unarmed merchant ships on sight and thereby kills American citizens, it is not likely that the United States would long remain passive. Where the unpleasantness to continue, the United States would doubtless offer to cooperate with the Allies in enforcing the blockade against Germany. The Navy of the United States is badly provided with light cruisers, but possesses over 50 destroyers that would be distinctly useful in blockade work. They also sent over their subs, as far as I know. They did they had some subs and did some patrolling as well. The war will be over before the United States can organize any overseas military expedition. Boy, would the Germans love to believe that. Details of the capture of Trebizond are filtering into Petrograd and indicate that the Russian fleet played a decisive part in the operations. Yet again, I was like, wow. After heavy bombarding the city and the shore defenses, the Russian ships sailed westward along the coast and covered the landing of troops which threatened to surround and entrap the Turks, already beset from east and the southeast. The attack of the Germans at Verdun swung around yesterday to the southeast of the city. At Les Eperges, where the Germans have a foothold on the heights of the Meuse, they attacked the French positions thrice during the morning. God, I love that word. The British night official report states that there was heavy shelling yesterday by the enemy's artillery around Carency, Saint-Eloi, and Vroomesel. The struggle along the Vina develops. Petrograd reports that on Tuesday night, the Germans poured a tremendous fire into a Russian trench near Ginovka and then attacked and carried the trench. They were turned out again by a counterattack. The work of the Russian submarines, in the Black Sea is highly efficient. Petrograd tells how one of them, although attacked by an airman and heavily shelled by the Turkish batteries, succeeded in torpedoing and sinking a steamer and a sailing ship near the entrance of the Bosphorus. William Ayre says, the German bench warmers are about to enter the contest after halftime. Yes, you were the one that brings that up, brought that up too, and also mentioning that happens in World War II. Another Armenian victory for the Russians is announced. In the region west of Erzurum, a strongly fortified position has been carried at Ashkla. The Turks left hundreds of dead on the field. And that's it. We got that one done. I will show you this, and that'll be it. That, guys, hold on here. I'm going to stop the screen. I'm going to show you just a quickie. Did I put it in here? Nope. Hold on here. I'm getting there. Hold on. I got to make sure that it's, and that'll be that. I'm on my way. Can you guys see that? So I'm starting here. Big Bertha Bingo. I'll tell you how it's going to work. So I've been trying to figure out how the hell bingo works. And so instead of obviously doing B-I-N-G-O, William Ayre says the American bench warmers are about to, no, you did it twice. Okay, goody. So what I'm going to do is I only need, they say you basically need 75 whatevers to do a half decent thing. I went to Value Village yesterday, picked myself up a used bingo card game. So I'm going to use these as the templates for the randomization. And then instead of saying like I-62, it'll be like 1915, the Second Battle of Champagne or whatever. You get the idea. And we'll go that way, I think is, I'm going to. And then from there, and here's the beauty of it. Guess who's going to be bringing the clues? Jeremy II. I'll just be popping out and going, it'll be 1917, the battle or whatever. And then we're going to go from there. And then hopefully that will trigger me going on and grabbing a link and taking a look at the battle very quickly. And that way I can learn. And if you guys want to learn with me, bonus. That's why I'm looking at it. All right. It's been 7 minutes. We're way past the whatever. As per usual, never get anywhere near what I'd like to talk about with you guys, but that's the way it goes. I want to say thank you so much for showing up. Thank you guys for all the contributions you guys have been popping in here. I'll calculate the points. Chrispy Galactic says, thanks, Chris. Great show. Yeah, you're awfully quiet. I was thinking maybe you fell asleep or something, for Christ's sakes. I was wondering where the hell you were. I'm just about to, it's not too bad out there, but I ordered. Oddly enough, saying that, I put a hold on the Ordered to Die book again, that Ottoman book there from Eric, whatever his name is, Eric Erickson or something. So I'm just going to go off to the library a little while to go get it. Harold Bosman says, thanks. See you all next week. Yes. Hope you guys have a great week. And thank you so much. And I'll start Chrispy Galactus is transplanting pepper plants and watching. Cool. Pepper plants? Like you mean like green peppers and whatever, not I guess the spice pepper. Over 100, holy smokes. William Arends says, I also have a game store in Waterloo and bought The Pursuit of Glory from GMT there. I know, you've got the nice one there. Great board games. Yeah, that guy's awesome. I really like him. Very small store, but really good stuff. Okay, that's it. I'm off. I hope you guys have a great week. See you later. And Chrispy Galactic's doing hot and bell peppers. Okay, see you later, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.